games, it's what I'm talking about. Games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this morning with a little bit of singing, and I'm here and I'm talking about playtesting, but I'm not gonna shout. I am gonna talk about the games we playtested, and I will talk about the time I rested by having dinner. Games, it's what I'm talking about. Games, I'm not gonna shout. But that doesn't. Hello and good morning. I am Bez and this is Bezzy Beats Briefer Blether. I'm going to be chatting about what I've been up to of late. I'm going to be chatting about a wee bit about playtesting. I'll be improvising some music and then I will finish up. And that is what this show is all about. But before that, let's try and work out which of these things sounds good. Hello Runa, it is lovely to see you, and I hope you're generally well. What are you up to today, and what have you been up to recently? I'm trying to find a setting on my keyboard that isn't too painful, but I think this is good enough for the moment, and I hope you're generally well. But let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights. So yeah, what have you been up to recently? Runa says, we've built the last wall of the shed, and today we will have to place the glass in the window. Wow, that sounds really exciting. Let me actually go with... Yeah, that's a bit nicer. So, I mean, once you've put the glass into the windows, that's when it's like actually shielded from the elements. So it's like an actual, establishment. It's like an actual abode. So congratulations. I mean, theoretically, is this a shed, that someone could sleep in? I mean, how insulated is it? Is it somewhere where you could store board games? Is it somewhere where you could play board games? I know the Chapals, they have like what might be considered a shed, but it's actually what they call a summer house. And yeah, they've got an entire library of board games, but unless the shed's really well insulated from the elements, you want to be careful about putting something in there that could get wet. And Runa says it's like 90%, except for the sun that wreaks havoc still until the inside walls and insulation is up. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. So like it's a proper place where someone could actually sleep. Amazing. Congratulations. So yeah, that sounds awesome, but at least the outside is up, says Runa. Indeed, I mean, celebrate everywhere you can, and it sounds like you're not just celebrating small things, you are celebrating fairly major things. Wouldn't sleep there, it will be boyfriend's workshop, okay. So it's not that well insulated, is what you're saying. I expect screws and nails everywhere. Oh, so you're more talking about what's on the floor. What if you had a guest over? Then, you could potentially give it a wee bit of a brush and have someone on a couch if you really need it. I'm just pontificating. Not to mention wood chips and metal splinters. Wait, metal splinters are a thing? I've never heard of metal splinters before, but I can imagine them, and they sound very painful. This relaxing music feels a bit too relaxing now for metal splinters. I feel like, I don't know if you can hear, there's a slight whirring going on out there, so I feel like it should be more like... I would place you on the sofa before I would advise you to sleep there, says Runa. I'm glad that you're already bringing me into it. I wasn't talking just about myself, I was talking about literally anyone. But yeah, escaping the metal splinter seems like a good idea. So what have I been up to? I've been up to a few things. Yesterday I was mainly playtesting. So in that photo on the right, on your right, you can see Nick Cumberston, whose face is showing, and Ellie Dixon's a yellow top, and Will Sorrell on the left, and David Brain is on the right, but David Brain does not like their face shown. We were playing a game about drawing creatures, complimenting the drawings, and complimenting the compliments. Let me show you. There we go. So these are some of the creatures that we drew. The way the game works is that you've got a bunch of cards that tell you things that you've got to draw. For example, thick lips or angry eyes. So everyone here had to draw angry eyes and whiskers, but then we each got one additional thing. So I had to draw bony bits and hats. That was Nick drawing, who on the right had to draw long legs and something else, and on the bottom right there was thick lips and more than 20 eyes. So basically everyone's got to draw the things as best as they can. Anyway, the point is that once you're done with the drawing, and you get as much time as you want, and it normally takes about 5 minutes, but you get to draw something that you're comfortable with. Once you're done drawing, you say you're done. Once only one person is left, they need to finish up. They don't have to stop immediately, they just have to finish as quickly as they can. Now, the second phase of the game is one by one. Everyone does a grand reveal of the creatures and then shows it off, and everyone then takes a turn to compliment it. And so you might say, hey, I really like the way that the creature's got a bit of a horror vibe, but it's still cute. You might say, hey, I really like the creature's style, how it's got these hats at a jaunty angle. You might say, oh, I really like the way that you interpreted the whiskers and used the beard. You might say, oh, I really like the giant feet and the way that your creature has a bit of a life. And then after this, there's a last phase. Once everyone's done a grand reveal and been complimented, then everyone who did the grand reveal takes a turn to say, thank you, blah, 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 for that compliment, and then compliments the compliment. And that's why on the left you've got little prompts to help you compliment the drawings and then compliment the compliments. And I've played this 4 times now, and every time I end up just really smiling. It's a feel-good game. I'm actually really proud of it, because I think that complimenting the compliments, even though it was done as a joke, kind of gives the compliments validity, if you know what I mean. And hello, Macabre. I'm not really taking piano requests, but I'll tell you what, if you want me to, I'm just improvising today, but if you want me to do a particular key, then like if you say like G major or jazz and G or whatever, I'll try to improvise in that bit for a while. And hello, Justin Hall, lovely to see you. But yeah, that is the game of a game about drawing creatures. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. A game about drawing creatures, complementing the drawings and complementing the complements. That was my game. And yeah, it was kind of very much inspired by, I want to say, Sean on one of the shows that I was in. It was like just someone said, "Oh, that's your next game," and I was like, "You know what? That's a good idea." They actually suggested doing it on dice. It's not actually my drawing system. It's a very loosely inspired by it. We should remote play this someday, says Runa. Well, if you're willing to come on camera, I would be up for it. Absolutely. You're 1 hour ahead of me, so like if we do it like one day in maybe like 3-4 weeks at 5 p.m. your time, I believe. And lots of love. Bye, Runa. Have a wonderful day ahead. Anyway, so like while I was playtesting games, obviously I was not just playtesting my own. There were everyone who was there, all 5 people got their games tested, which was really cool. David Brain, Will Sorrell, Ellie Dix, and Nick Humberston. David Brain did some sort of deduction game that was either going to be trivial or confounding. And it turned out to be confounding, but I did not get a chance to play this one. This was the only one I didn't get to play. Nick Humberston did a sort of vaguely deck-building dueling game about pirates, and the deck-building aspect is really interesting because when you add stuff to your deck, you don't know exactly what you're going to get. But you get a number of cards and you get to pick one of them, so it's quite cool. It's like you're ransacking the chest, it's like you're exploring the ship. And one nice thing about the game is that you can always use cards for a resource. So you can use cards for what is printed on the cards, but you can also use cards for just being cards, which is quite a cool idea. And it brings in a certain flexibility into the system that is wonderful. We played Ellie Dix's system about it's kind of a quiz game about learning and quickly remembering information. It works fairly well. Then finally we played Will's game about drawing, and Will's game is about drawing as quickly as you can. So because Nick was about drawing things in literally like 2 seconds, that, I thought I was going to get the first place for drawing really quickly, but my drawing was maybe like 2.8 seconds, and it was Nick. Nick was like maybe 2.5 seconds, like it was really like, okay, draw a key, okay, grab the thing for the key, and stretchy time, stretchy time, stretchy time, and here's a rhyme. Wait. I also had a big. There was lots of rain. I arrived back at Layla's completely sodden. Luckily, I had a change of clothes. We had a game of Sleeping Queens. Layla bought it for £1 at a charity shop. It's definitely not a game for us, it's a bit childish, but for a game for like 8-year-olds, I can totally see how it's a fine, lovely game. And yeah, Sleeping Queens was a good game, and there was delicious food thanks to Layla. There was a bit of wine, a bit of chat. Came home and pretty much went to bed. It was a good day. So, at this point, if anyone has any questionably quick questions they would like to ask, it is your opportunity to ask any questionably quick questions of me. If you want, in the next section, you can ask me a question. Questionably quick questions. And whilst they might or might not come in, I will talk about a brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Brilliant thing. Brilliant things. I'm going to say that brilliant things are having dry clothes after a rain. Like if you are outside and then you're totally sodden and then you get rained on and then you come back inside and you're thinking, hey, I'm really wet, and it's not the most comfortable feeling, especially when it's a bit chilly. But then if you get inside and you have a dry towel and then you dry off yourself and then you put on dry clothes, you know, that moment it's like, thank goodness we have shelter, thank goodness we have dry clothes, thank goodness we have, you know, clean clothes to go into. And you know, that moment of appreciation, sure, it makes us realize that the dry clothes and the clean clothes and all those and the shelter are the really good things, but also that moment, that contrast gives us a moment of greater clarity and greater appreciation. And I think that leading to greater thankfulness is a brilliant thing, because giving thanks itself, I think, is a brilliant thing. So, let's ponder about it's over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. If it's serious or frivolous or any of your business, maybe you can make it our business too. You can share anything you want, but only if you want to. You can share, and I promise that I care. Well, I mean, that's a bit of a big promise to make. I will try to care, I will try to show I care, even if that caring is fake. But seriously, I probably care because you're a human and I'm a human too. And that's what humans do. At least that's what I do. I care about other humans. Maybe a lot of other humans. I mean, some humans I have hatred for, but there's a baseline of caring. So, what am I up to today? I'm going to be doing a bit of washing and organisation and preparing for going away. So yeah, I'm taking today relatively easy. I'm just there's even a potential that I might do a wee bit of solo gaming. I really actually should do a wee bit of solo gaming for the Eldic. Play a wee bit more of Dwindle. Dwindle is one of the games that I'm considering for the Eldic design competition. Oh sugar, that reminds me I do need to get in touch with a few folk. I need to also sort out my boarding pass, find my passport, which is either on that shelf or that shelf, I'm not sure. But, it's two shelves to kind of clear and look through, which will take a wee bit of time. And even though I'm very good at burying my head in the sand and not actually doing stuff, there is like a background, like a tiny smidgen of stress, and so it's probably good for me to actually be like, okay, I've got it, and I put the passport in an obvious place. Yeah, I'm going to take some tea for my friend Liz. I don't have any plans of what to take for Martina or Talita. I guess I should probably take some Tunnix tea cakes, something you are unlikely to get outside of the UK. to take a game for Oxate as a wee present. Something that I'm able to play enough beforehand and maybe just do a quick review to say goodbye to. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Walthamstow market. I'm really excited about Stacey Gisby, who I might be making acrylic brooches with. I mean, it's basically Stacey doing all the work, but it's based off my wee whimsical creatures. I'm excited about that. And then there's going to be Essen next month, and I'm planning to go, but I need to work out a lot of the details. So there's communication, there's organisation, there's planning, and there's all the things that I don't really like doing. So at this point, we've talked, well, Runa was here talking about the shed created, and congratulations, Runa, and everyone who was part of that. Then we talked about the playtest and a game about drawing creatures, complimenting those drawings and complimenting the compliments. Talked about the other games playtested very briefly, and then Sleeping Queens and being with other people and showing appreciation, and just had a wee bit of an improvisation. And that was quite lovely. If you want to check me out, then of course, it is stuffbybez.com, stuffbybez.bigcartel.com, twitter.com/stuffbybez, instagram.com/stuffbybez, twitch.tv/stuffbybez, youtube.com/stuffbybez, and stuffbybez.com/discord if you want to go to the Discord. I want to say thank you everyone who supports me, who makes it possible for me to make games. People back to Kickstarter, yeah. can't get over like 814 backers. That was amazing. If you want to check out my future streams, then go here. I'm streaming every day at 10 a.m. UK time, but not Tuesday, and probably not Wednesday. I'll have to check on that. Share, spread the word, and for now, there's only one thing left to say. And that one thing that I'm going to say is... Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. And bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye 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 bye.